Yo, yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's what it takes. Pieces is a form of art. I'm never gonna look back, cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's what it takes.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hey, Rebecca. Hey. Everybody here is okay?
I haven't even watched it. That's really nice.
I laughed at that. Poor Maria. She's not going to ever watch it, I don't think. I just don't think this is up her alley. It is what it is. She'd like it if she'd give it a chance.
We'll try.
Hello, Cosmic. Yeah, she's just not going to do it. I know it. Hey, Ballcat. Hey, Sarah Z. Hey, Dreamsicle. Hello to Shashai. Hello to Wendy. I didn't get my glasses. I even said I needed to get my glasses. Hey, Virgie. Hey, Addie. Hey, Ruth Ann. Oh, my gosh. Ruth Ann, last time I tried to add those pictures, and then I did, and then I think I deleted them because I was going to have all kinds of visuals tonight, which failed miserably. Anyway. But I'll have to add those pictures. Don't let me forget Rebecca to show her granddaughter's cosplay. Hello to Irish Lass and Virgie. I think I said Virgie. Sarah, Positive, Paula. I should go get my glasses.
Yeah, go grab them.
Hey, Brenda Faye. Here for support only. I guess that's another non-watcher. Thank you for coming in anyway. Y'all are so sweet.
Just friends.
Because we have a lot to talk about. Yeah, a lot to talk about. 3 and 4. I'm sorry. I'm finally making up for not having 3 done and in the bag. But last week I had a bunch of crap. I was just really busy. But so a lot's happened. I mean, it's getting good. It's going fast. Like years wise.
Was chock full of information. I legit have 3 pages of notes, whereas the 4th one I have 2. But I mean, it was a lot.
So go ahead, start us off then.
So the first thing, the introductory scene is Daemon fighting the war, coming in with the dragon, coming after the not the sea snake, the crab feeder.
Ew, and he's gross.
He is gross. And
he's all grayscale.
I heard that he has grayscale, but there's things later in episode 4 which makes me think he doesn't have grayscale. I think he got burnt by the dragon. And that's why his skin.
maybe, but I think that he has grayscale. And what else did I write? Something else. I'm sure Irish last name.
Half of the harpy, the Sons of the Harpy.
Yes, that's what it is. That's what it was. That's what it was. And I didn't know that until, of course, I was trying to listen to make sure, because it's sometimes easier to listen to other commentary just to make sure you hit the high points. And that's exactly what they said. I was like, shut up. And then I looked at it. I'm like, oh, duh.
Like,
You gotta really pick. How did I miss that? But
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah, we're in the Stepstones, and Damon's getting his butt kicked,
Mhm.
and I like the opening scene with where the guys getting nailed. They're like, because they nail all these people to the cross that are trying to pass for cargo in the narrow seas. I guess it's the narrow seas. Yeah. So
you, Patrick.
yeah, hey Patrick, I didn't even send you a link because I didn't think you'd be able to go live. But we miss you. It's not the same without you. Hope you're having fun.
That cruise.
So I know, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. Hey, Hot Toddy. Hello, hello, hello.
But it's funny because people are bringing up that they don't think that Damon is fighting the war for the actual cause of getting rid of the crab feeder. They think that he's doing it for his own personal pride and himself along, which is totally the case. But
oh yeah, he is totally full. He was like, screw you. That's what Corliss was even saying. Like, if you want an opportunity to shine, here it is. So he's over there just getting his butt kicked all over the place. And then he kind of like the opening scene, he swoops in on his dragon, the poor man getting fed to the crabs and everything. He's like, my prince, and then he thinks he's about to get saved. Salvation is near. And then boom, the dragon just steps on him and crushes him. He was mad that his brother sent that note. He was pissed. He was like, I don't need no stinking help. No. That's exactly what I don't need. That will not even serve my point. But anyway, so you have all this going on, and meanwhile, it's already Prince Aegon, cute little baby. He's a cute little boy. His second birthday.
And then they're at this point where they're introducing his second name day.
And Alicent didn't waste no time, because she is she is like crowning. Basically, she's so pregnant. She's hugely pregnant, and King Viserys isn't even trying to hear that. Everybody tries to keep. I think even one of the Lannister twins. Somebody comes up to him and he's like, "Hey, there's some big trouble over there. We might need to look into this. They're getting their butts kicked." And he's like, "I don't want to hear this. This is like, what are you talking about? This is my son's birthday party. Like, save it for another day. I don't care how serious this is. I'm not even trying to talk about this right now." And so
else with your bummer, like,
you're totally killing the vibe, Lannister.
Yep. And then Rhaenyra's just out doing her thing underneath the tree, reading a book.
Right. She can't be bothered either.
Can't be bothered.
She can't be bothered, and she's reading like more history books, and she's got this little minstrel, which I think always. What happened? Hold on. Jason just had to tell me he had to come in here because he had to go yell at Timber because he was eating something outside. Anyways, I didn't hear it. I don't know if y'all heard it, but he was coming to let me know. Just so anything that can't get twisted. But anyways, where were we? What were we talking about?
Rhaenyra underneath the tree, can't be bothered with the party.
Yes, and she's having this little minstrel play over and over this song that's called Dragon's Eye, and it's like kind of like riding about leaving with a bunch of ships or something like that. But so she's not trying to even participate. She's like, screw that. I am now I'm going to be cast aside. I'm not going to be, he's got a boy. Like this, what does this mean for me? I'm just going to be, married off, which is exactly what starts to happen.
And then Alicent is like, you need to get your butt to the party. We're about to leave.
And she's like, I'm going to stay my ass right here because I don't care about that. And then finally she's like, is it a king? And there's you could see total friction here in this relationship. Like they are very distant. There's no friendship even happening. And then she's like, "Is this the king's order? Okay, why didn't you say so? I'm on my way." Because if you're going to be telling me to do something, you can go. But if it's my king, then of course I'm going to obey.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daemon's army was definitely getting slaughtered and running out of stamina for sure. For sure.
They were not doing hot.
So.
And then they're in the carriage on their way to the Godswood. And they're talking about how Rhaenyra is going to have a baby soon too. And she's not thrilled at the idea.
Yeah, she's like, "Baby, what are you talking about?" Yes, I'm not even trying to have a baby. And she's not trying to even hear all the the political stuff either. She's just like, "What you all are crazy. Like, it's all you guys ever talk about." But so they got to this big the hunt, and it's like massive. It's like carnival-esque, like tons of tents. Everybody from all the different places in Westeros are there. Oh, sorry. And go on. What happens after that?
Yeah.
So much is going on.
That is right. I think it's definitely because of her mom passing. She's just like, I don't want nothing to do with it. It killed my mom. I'm good.
Oh, of course. Of course. Yeah, exactly. Like, and even her mom said, "This is our battlefield," and she's just like, I'd rather be in battle on the battlefield than even trying to do this. And so, yeah, so that's definitely probably the reason, one of the huge reasons that she doesn't want to. But we find out, of course, spoiler alert, she does have kids. She has a few. I was getting Arya Stark vibes from her from the very first episode. Yeah. So then what happens after they get there? So they get there.
It's a huge party. Rhaenyra is kind of just mingling throughout. The king is getting his wine on first thing.
The king's starting to drink a lot.
It might be from the pain from all of the.
Definitely. Because his health is also. We've gone from one finger with the maggot, the therapeutic maggots, to 2 fingers, and then we'll see in the next episode it's not getting any flipping better whatsoever. It's just like the future is near with the king, and the way these episodes are going, I don't know how long this means that we're gonna even keep seeing the king, because he's getting sick, he's getting drunk, he's still trying to maintain his decency, but he's like having a lot harder time. He's starting to show strength, but is it really strength? Because it's like boozing, pain, aggravation. Nobody will leave him alone. Everybody's questioning him. And did you choose the right heir? Well, now you've got a son. Well, now obviously your son's going to be the heir. And he's like, I chose who I chose. Everybody's undermining him in a sense, or at least really trying to persuade him, to name Aegon as the heir.
I gotta say, one of my favorite quotes in the episode is right after. So Rhaenyra's mingling, and she goes up, and one of the Lannister ladies, I think, confronts her, and she starts talking about what's happening at the Stepstones and stuff. And Rhaenyra responds saying, "And how have you served the realm as of late, Lady Bedwayne," or whatever her name is, Redwayne, by eating cake?
Yeah, I love her. I love Rhaenyra. So I think those are Lannister women. And they're all talking a bunch of noise, basically. And then but Alicent has an opportunity.
Alicent always has her back though when they're talking about
yeah. I was about to say that she comes in and she has her defense of saying that she was the best named heir, and so but. All of that's quickly shattered. Isn't it the next scene where the king and her just have an all-out just yell match right in the middle of it? Because we're doing 2 episodes. I'm hoping I'm not getting them all switched together, but right in front of everybody. Right in front of everybody, because she's like...
Lannister went up and tried hitting on her,
right.
And she felt the vibe. She's like...
Yes.
Not
and so he brings up the Lannister guy, I'm assuming. And so she's just like looking at him with a side eye, like, "Excuse me, like, what is this? What I think it is here? Is this what I think it's going on?" And then that's when they have the conversation in front of everybody.
Yeah, because he's like, "I'll build you a dragon pit," and she's like, "For what?" Like,
what do you need one of those for? Well, for your dragons. Well, you're a little presumptuous now. Here's your wine. Nice to see you. talk to you later because
Yeah. And then
we're
she
not
goes
about to be doing
her
that.
dad because she's like, you're just trying to shoo me off. Like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah. Because I'm a Lannister. And notice he's a twin. So we have another set of Lannister twins. Yippee. But this time, obviously, two boys. But they look like, why does it, they like Theon Greyjoy. It's just so weird. Like, anyway, I just kept looking at them saying, they look like Theon. I don't like the Lannister boy either. And the king told him what time it was, too. I like that, though. Because, he tried to come up all sassy. And the king was like, excuse me. And as you were,
Mm-hmm. Yep. And the king is like, even I don't exist without tradition and duty, Rhaenyra, like you need to do your duty and marry and propagate your line. But she rides off and not hearing none of that.
Yeah, he's like, because, as the heirs start to go away, it says, that it makes them look weak. It makes them look like we don't have a succession established, therefore it makes our name look weak, and you're going to have to get married. And she's like, okay, let me show you how much. And she, like she said, she gets on a horse, she's riding top speed out. Her very nice looking knight of course follows her. He is so cute. Cute. I think he's really cute.
He looks jollier Jon Snow.
He's just really nice looking on the eyes. He's just nice. But seriously, so they go off and he's like, come back. And she's like, oh, hell no. Not going back over there. Couldn't pay me, not doing it. And he's like, I've got to keep making sure you understand that I'm supposed to make sure we go back. Like, we can't be doing this. Not today. Mm-hmm. And so she's like, no.
Yeah.
And, so they carry on. Meanwhile, was that supposedly like white stag poop that they picked up going out to prepare for the hunt whenever he picked that? I had to rewind that and watch it because they were talking about the white stag sighting. But I was like, are they looking for what was that he picked up and smelt it and said it was fresh? I need to know. I guess nobody else picked that up.
I didn't pick that up. No.
Okay. Well, I did. So if anybody'd like to put it in the comments, did I dream that? I know I thought I saw that. But anyway, they'd also mentioned that
gives him the spear.
Yeah, the spear to kill the stag, and there had been. Okay, I thought it was crazy. I was like, did I? No, but so there he's like, here's the spear. He talks about getting married to Rhaenyra again, I believe, when he's handing him the spear. And the king's like, yeah, no, I don't think so. I told you guys.
Like, it's fine. She'll be at where do they live? Casterly Rock. She'll be fine.
So it was stag poop. Okay, good. I'm glad I wasn't, because I was like, what in the, but I didn't know if it was the white stag specific poop. Because after all, the white stag is what everybody wanted him to see, because that white stag represented a right to, is it a right to rule? So I guess that if he didn't see the stag, that was going to mean his decision in the air that he chose of Rhaenyra was to be carried out. And if he did see the stag, then that was to mean that the right to rule would go to Aegon. So the stag was the main idea of this episode. Like,
yeah, big symbolism. And then Otto suggests Rhaenyra marries Prince Aegon, her 2-year-old brother.
I know, because it's like, well, if you don't want it to go, over to Casterly Rock, then we could keep it right here at home and in the family. He's like, but he's 2 years old. He's like, well, I mean, he's not going to be 2 years old forever. Thank y'all so much for coming in to support, even though y'all don't watch. I appreciate it. So then, like we said, Rhaenyra and Kristen are still off on their hiatus. Mm-hmm. They are chilling by a fire. She's like, she likes it much better there, she says. And then all of a sudden, this wild boar comes out of nowhere, tries to KO them both. And, that was really cool that, like, right there, right before the boar's going after Rhaenyra, then Sir Kristen kills him. And then she just goes berserk. Like, all the pent up stress and aggression and anger and everything. She just completely let it out on the boar. Completely.
I mean, it was a lot. She got blood all over her face, all over her neck.
It reminded me of when Khaleesi ate the heart whenever she, and like, you know, the first season when she, I think it was the first season when she ate the heart, whenever, I think it was when she learned she was pregnant. See, I get all these little facts mixed up. Okay.
I think
so,
it's when and they were like, okay, well, you need to eat a heart then.
Right. Hey, Steph. And so they have to, it's a right before she was savage. She was really savage and she didn't stop. And that thing was, she was just getting blood everywhere, you know, and then I love the next scene where they come up and she's just got blood in her hair, blood, matted hair and blood. She still looks so pretty sitting on that horse. And then they look over and there's the freaking white stag that her dad was supposed to see as the king. But here we have again the symbolism of she keeps getting these prophetic things happening that makes her, you know, look stronger than him.
Yeah, and she lets it go.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So, and I wonder, you know, and he.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was saying then the king has a drunken conversation with Alicent, talking about how he never thought that he was going to get remarried or have a son, and maybe he rushed into the decision of naming Rhaenyra as heir. It's his one time that he does kind of fall back and be like, maybe I made the wrong choice.
Yeah.
But
well, and like, you know, and what's going to happen? Spoiler alert! It's like this is what's going to ultimately be dividing in this entire situation and forming the different sides of who believes what, because this will divide everybody in the realm and their beliefs and who's the rightful heir, because, you know, they're supposed to you know, like I said, it's supposed to be the male, and he didn't expect it. It wasn't supposed to happen, but you had Otto Hightower just constantly with his eye on the freaking prize. I was on the prize, and he knew exactly what he was doing, pushing his daughter onto the king like that. So,
and he went on to go and spear a stag, which was not a white stag; it was a regular stag. And it took him a few.
And yet we
broke my heart
again. The king can't even kill a stag that's tied up with a freaking spear at point blank range. Like, just another sign, like his fingers are falling off. He's like basically turning into like a zombie right before our eyes or something. And then he can't even, you know, kill a stag in the right spot. So again, it just shows just weakness after weakness after weakness that you're seeing every time the king's put in a position of him needing to be, you know, show that he's powerful, show that he's strong, show that he's capable. I know, and they gave it to him. I mean, that's not even hunting. He should have had to go up there and kill that thing like a bow hunter, like that current times. But no, he was tied off, and all he had to do is, and again, he failed. So it's like constantly every time.
It's so you saw it like suffer for a while, and then finally it died. It's like, do it right the first time, please.
Yes, and the fingers and stuff is getting cut up by the throne. But he's got to have something else. He's got to have some underlying diabetes. He's got some kind of a non-healing disease going on, like some peripheral vascular disease, peripheral arterial disease, maybe both. Maybe, like I said, he's probably got some diabetes going on, because, I mean, but then again, I guess you would think if it was diabetes, he would be more numb from the pain. And this stuff's happening everywhere. So, yeah, he did act like he didn't want to kill it. He was very reserved. You could see him having to really wrap his head around it before he even threw the spear. But again, it does show that it's almost like, I mean, and a lot of times he's like that. He doesn't want to have to be a hard ass, you know. He does need some sun. I don't think it would be like what would, so those were if it was the throne, those were made out of steel. So those are steel swords, right? So I don't know what it would be, but I think there's something's causing him to completely not heal, and not only did not heal, but just just constantly get and any non-healing diseases is going to be like diabetes and peripheral vascular and stuff like that. But I don't know. But it's the throne, and we know that that's what's causing him to get injured. But there's another underlying something causing him to not heal. So
Yeah.
because he shouldn't.
And then they bring the hog back to the Godswood.
Yes. And then here, she's got to do the walk of shame. Rhaenyra's like, yeah, what about it? I've been gone, and I brought dinner home. So
I don't feel like she was like, look at this. This is what I want to do. Fair children. Like,
yeah, exactly. So
then Otto talks to Alicent about how Aegon should be king and how it's the right thing. And Alicent is like, no, what kind of mother would I be to raise a son to go ahead and take away her brother's, like his sister's birthright?
Right.
I do like how she always stands up for her. It shows just how much she does care about her. I always end up loving the villains. Like, I always think that they're good people. So that's a sign.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think that she's a great person.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Evil.
She ends up, so because there's going to be some major dissension coming up soon between those two, like, and we'll get into the next episode, but and so basically then we go back to the Stepstones, where
the king to help them out.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we forgot about that. That was part of the conversation, and that's where we also see his two fingers rotted off when he takes his glove off and drinks his wine. So she's like, you're going to have to help him. I mean, seriously. And I mean, Rhaenyra had already told him, like, what kind of king, like, you got to set an example here. Like, you've got to, like, put your feelings aside, do what's best for everybody, send the help.
Yeah.
So, they're getting their asses kicked. Corlys is over there, Laenor, and then I forget it's his brother. His brother's like, screw Daemon. He's brought us here. He's getting our asses kicked. Like, something's got to change. And I'm sorry, Daemon, he's a badass. He really is. I know he's also a villain, but I don't care because now he's also he's beginning to be a lot like Jon Snowish to me. I don't know why. I know, but like if Jon Snow was a villain, but anyway, just his fighting style and everything, but we'll get to that. So
fighting style, nothing else.
Fighting style. It's just the fact that and his fearlessness too. I mean, and I don't even know if it was so much fearlessness or stubbornness that he was going to get this deed done. He was going to beat these people. So here comes here comes the messenger minding his own business, just hands over a thing saying, hey, you're going to get X amount of fleets. You're going to get X amount of men. We're sending over help to help you get to defeat the crab feeder. And that's it. And what does he do? I hope that guy's okay. That's probably where the term "don't kill the messenger" came about, because that's like he basically it doesn't show what happened. But yeah, Jaime Lannister. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
that's a good point, Irish Lass. But at any rate, I'm still just like, ooh. But so the next thing you see after he beats this guy, the messenger's butt, is he's going and rowing to the battle zone over in their caves where they're all stationed. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like, is this for real?
Mm-hmm. I knew something was up. I'm like, there's no way he's going and waving a white flag. Like
waving a white flag, giving his sword.
Yep.
Laying it down, bowing the knee, taking the knee. Otto is a POS. He really is. Puts the sword down and says, "We're done." And yeah, right. As if so, I was just like, "Oh my gosh!" So of course, we can't take his word for anything. And then a badass fight scene ensues. I really enjoyed this fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm like, that's what gave me Jon Snow vibes right here. It was just because I can't remember a good part where Jaime Lannister really went in and ever just kicked some ass solo like that before. But that's why it gave me Jon Snow vibes. because
But in the Battle of Winterfell, Jaime Lannister, he did hold his own with only one hand.
that's true. Yeah, and then he figured out he could just grab swords with his other hand. But yeah, he just went in there and he was alone as far as he knew. As far as he knew, he was going by himself. He was going to either, it's almost like it was on a suicide mission and he didn't really, I don't think he even cares anymore. He's either going to get what he wants or he's going to die trying.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what he did, because he went in there and then just right at the nick of time, all the men come, here comes, and I think Laenor is really another nice looking guy too, and that's why I kind of like the match of him and Rhaenyra. I do. Did I spoil that? Crap. Oh well. So, but yeah, so he comes in there. He's also a dragon rider, and his dragon is Sea Smoke, and Sea Smoke comes in there and just tears it down, because it gets to a point where Daemon's outnumbered and completely, encircled by everybody. And it looks like
he planned that because they all were staying in the cave, so he had to draw them out. So I think it was planned that he went out there and distracted. I just don't think that, of course, he didn't want to get hit with multiple arrows, but
that was pretty intense how he was, just all coming out. And maybe they did plan it, or maybe they knew where he was going, but at any rate, they were able to draw him out and then come out from the back and then have dragons. But whatever, it was still a very risky plan, and it was like just a miracle that he made it out alive.
Well, it's because he wanted that honor, he wanted that gold badge. He didn't want his brother helping him because he didn't want him taking away any of his shine, so he's like, I'm gonna get this done. We're not needing any help. I got it, But yeah, he gets hit with like 3 different arrows. And the reason why I don't think that the sea snake has grayscale is because Daemon was touching him. And
right,
Daemon's
but a
long time to come.
That's true. But I'm wondering if the grayscale is like, does it even matter if you touch a grayscale that's dead? Maybe he was gutted. So he could have very well went in there and killed the crab feeder, completely gutted him, and then drug his body out, because maybe you could touch grayscale if they're dead. Why would they even be active if they're not?
It's like
I don't know, but I don't know. It looked like grayscale to me, and it would make sense that it was grayscale, because aren't those people a lot in water or around water?
Oh yeah, they're hiding out of the cave.
Maybe the Targaryens don't get grayscale.
Maybe. It could be. It did look like grayscale from like the previous seasons, but I'm like, he didn't get it though.
And just breaks them off and keeps going. You like Laenor's dragon better. Daemon's, and that one, it does have a long neck, and it's got wings on its legs too.
Mm-hmm.
Sardevik. See, Irish Lass is our guru. Irish Lass, you can come up anytime you want, by the way. Sardavok got it from a dead one in the water. I did not know that.
That's true.
Did not know that. So there goes that theory of mine. So maybe you're right, Rebecca. Maybe you're right.
Maybe he just got burnt. Looking funky.
Grayscale's like a fungus. Probably wouldn't matter if he's alive or dead, according to the hubby. Thanks, hubby. Appreciate it, hubby Addie. Okay, so
that's the end of that episode,
yeah. And I did notice, like, if every time Daemon did get shot with the arrows, the dragon acted like he was in pain from Daemon's injuries too. So they were saying, I don't know if it was in the books or otherwise, that the dragons can actually feel the rider's pain that they get. So that was also very interesting to see.
Well, the dragon knew when Daenerys died. I wouldn't be surprised if they have that kind of connection.
Exactly. Kind of like a twin can feel another twin's pain. I guess it would be something similar. Mm-hmm. That they have some kind of a interpersonal connection that like defies everything. It's a phenomenon of sorts, I'm sure. But these dragons are more domesticated, it seems. So you would think so, that this would probably even a stronger connection than we did see before in the original series. Because again, these are harnessed and saddled, and even the people, common folk, they don't care. They're like, oh, it's a dragon, big deal, another day. It's like seeing somebody walk their dog down the street. Just very yeah, Drogon did show up every time she needed him. Daenerys knew when her dragon died too. That's true. Yep. Look at all these diehards. So now we're gonna go into. I'm sorry, we're just rushing around, but we got another big episode to discuss.
Well, this one is hot and heavy, so it's got the juicy details in it.
This is where shit starts going down, okay? So Rhaenyra's on a tour, a find a husband tour. She is basically on like The Bachelorette, like medieval times edition. So she's going on this tour, and she got lines, and just it's like American Idol, but for a husband or wife. And they've got to come, and they're from each different. They've got
But the
I wrote some down. The first one is who?
Old as dirt. Knew her great
He was old.
grandmother.
Yes, that he even referenced her, and I think, did I write this out? It was Beric Dondarrion. So this is the guy. Hey, Vault. So this is the guy in the first one with the light up sword, right? Isn't that who that was? This is great. A relative of this. I might have written it down wrong, but this is also somebody that actually is Sir Kristen Cole's family member, which is weird. So she's just looking, and the next one is this little bitty guy. I think is the second one, and I just couldn't help but laughing.
Poor little guy.
Just like
child.
she's like, what the WTF is going on here? It's like, this isn't gonna go. Like, I gotta just. He had to stop and get a drink. But oh yeah, he did. He sure did stop and get a glass of wine whenever he was or whatever. I'm assuming it was wine. It seems like that's all they drink is wine. I'm amazed that they lived as long as they did. And everybody wasn't walking around with a big cirrhotic abdomen from constant wine drinking, because that's amazing to me. But anyway,
I think in the middle of an interview and stop to get a drink, like that's just
right. It was almost like it was like the opposite of a filibuster here in the States, like where you're not allowed to drink, whatever, drink, stop, get to the bathroom, anything, and he just stops, and everybody just looks like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So, and then you get this little shrimp that ends up getting catcalled by another house that was there watching the tour. And he's like, what are you talking about, fool? I'll whip your butt all day. They're just sitting there talking. This is me current day paraphrasing. And then this little bitty guy, they end up getting in a sword fight right then and there. Rhaenyra's like, F this, I'm out. Like, F this S, I'm out. Bye. See you later. Peace out. And then she leaves, and then the little bitty kid ends up, killing another little kid. Yeah, I believe the kid did end up winning, and he was House Blackwood. So at the end of the day, at least he could hold his own, little fella.
Yeah,
but
she got some brownie points. I mean,
yes, definitely. And then
Daemon returns.
And Daemon again. Why Daemon's cute. Like, I like his haircut.
You like it,
but yeah, but and even like if you remember, they're coming back from the tour, and she's on the boat, and he comes in, and he almost gives Rhaenyra a freaking concussion. Like, he comes, I guess, to mess with her, to like, hey, I'm here, girl. Your boy's here. And knocks her down, but then he enters, and he is now the king of the Stepstones. He has defeated the Crab Feeder. He has been named the king of the Stepstones, and he is there to bend the knee and to give the crown, just like every other king and queen of the realm has had to do to, in this case, King Viserys. So, but every other king, that was the same process. So he takes the knee, he gives him his like little, it looks like it's deer antler or some kind of wooden fixated crown, and he also has the hammer from the stepstones that was being used to hammer all the nails into the post, hands them down to the king, and relinquishes his, the kid did win. Relinquishes his crown, says that he's here. There's a big, reconciliation that happens. They hug each other, brothers at last. Everything's fine. But how long is this going to last? Really, we can't expect it for too long, and it does not last too long. Trust me. So,
Addie, maybe I'll be up on panel.
It was driftwood. So I was like, is that deer antlers or driftwood? But I guess there wouldn't be any deer in the narrow seas, huh?
No.
Okay.
But yeah, they start bonding, and then actually Rhaenyra and Alicent start rebonding.
We begin to see that Alicent is like FML every single day. I don't like my life. I don't like this dude. I don't want to be here. I didn't even go here. Like, that's how Alicent is acting. Yeah. Like, and she's just telling her, and when they're talking about her having babies, and she's like, well, I don't want to be like laid up in a castle, bedded up every 5 minutes imprisoned and just having babies. And then Alicent just kind of looks at her, like, you mean like me, And so it was a big realization moment for, but like, are you talking about like me? And then they, realize that they're both having to do shit that they don't want to do, and that they're just going to have to do it. And they bond and they hold hands. So you kind of see a reconciliation there too. And you're like, okay. So then, they're all talking and I guess having a celebration. The king tells Daemon that, and you almost see some kind of chemistry there, but the king tells Daemon, Mom liked you, always liked you more. Captain Unicorn. Oh, that's Addie's husband. Yay. Thank you for coming in, Captain Unicorn. But yeah, so anyway, and it's not far after this that, Rhaenyra goes in and then she finds like this. Tell me if I skip anything, Rebecca. She finds this like getaway package, and it's
a
bunch of clothes. Okay, the rewind.
So Rhaenyra voices to Daemon how she's afraid of having children, and because it killed her mom. Then Rhaenyra goes into her chambers and she finds the bag of clothes, and also a scroll showing her where she can get out of her bedroom.
Right, it's all these secret passages in the Red Keep, like I guess that she didn't know about, and so there's all these back. I guess we're in the Red Keep. I get so confused. Anyway, and so she goes and she's finding all these things, and she goes and then they meet up, and he's like in a disguise and she's in a disguise, and then they go down to Flea Bottom and they go slumming it, y'all. And when I say slumming it, I mean slumming it. They basically go to like just where they went to where anything goes, and it was a bunch of fire breathing
alleyway, and there's fire breathers.
Big orgies going on. That sounds like the perfect uncle niece getaway. But you have to remember, and you have to and it's like this is so much more of this in this series than in the first series, because Targaryens were dead ass about their bloodlines. Like, you're either going to be Targaryen or Valorian. That's it. That's all. No way, no how. Period. The end. But I want to say some of the Targaryens did marry but anyway, we'll get into that later. There
is Alicent, so she was the exception to the rule.
Yeah, there was some, I think maybe one more earlier, Baratheon, or I can't remember, but do I think those were Tyrion's quarters eventually? What she doesn't want to have, yeah. But they go in there and there's all kinds of shit going on. Like, I was just like, oh, of course we went 2 episodes with all of this. Now here we go again. And they start, and he's, let me also say before that, they go to a play. And then the play is like, she's around all the people she's away from all the yes people right now. She's around people that don't even know she's around, and they are completely hammering her, making fun, saying that she doesn't the plays are about the succession and who's going to take the crown. And she's actually seeing people boo at her and talk bad about her, and she tells Damon, and Damon's like just watching her,
Yep.
and he's like, you
Yep.
need to pay attention to what everybody says. Like this isn't just fun all the time. This is some shit. Like you're gonna have to pay attention to what these people say and respect it. The secret passage he used.
I'm gonna have to
Maybe
read.
so.
When did he use the secret passage?
The ones he showed Rhaenyra, right? She's asking, do we think that these were eventually Tyrion's quarters at the Red Keep?
Yeah. But when did Tyrion use the secret passage? I don't remember that. I'll have to go back and rewatch Irish Lass. That sounds awesome.
She picks up on everything. Irish Lass knows everything. And so does Sylvia. I don't know where Sylvia is. She's probably working. So where are we at? So yeah, so he tells her you need to care what they think for his girlfriend. Oh, when he was sneaking around Shay.
Oh, maybe. I mean, that would be fitting,
It was Marsha E. It was a whole ass. It was just like, I guess they have places like that today, allegedly.
What?
I've never been, nor do I ever want to go. What?
There are?
Yes. Yes. There's like places like that, like in big cities.
That's crazy.
And they're like sex clubs and stuff. Oh yeah. That would be like that. That would be the equivalent of me going to a haunted house, like a haunted hotel, or we have the haunted house here during Halloween. It's called the haunted hotel. Yeah. And like I don't want to be scared to death, and I don't want to be awkward to death ever in my life, ever. Yeah. And I'd be like, just you know what I'm saying? You would not fit in. So
one called like the 16th floor or something, and I want to, but I know that I couldn't. I don't want people touching me, and no, it sounds terrifying.
Mm-mm. Yeah, they're like swingers bars, but yeah, it was an open market for anything anybody wanted in that. So I think even Damon tells her, like, she's like, "Where are we? What the fuck are we doing here?"
Yeah, he's like,
and then they just start getting after it, making out hot and heavy, and she's like into it. Oh yeah, it's about to go down, and then we see it one more time, another time where he just can't. So, are we having problems? Do we have erectile dysfunction, or do we have too much on our mind? Like, what is really going on? Or are you just trying to mind F her? Like,
I think he's trying to mind F her. Like, he's trying to make her think, like, yeah, you could have this, but you need to be my queen before this happens, is what I think he's doing, because he's so manipulative. I'm like, that's got to be what he's doing.
Meanwhile, she's supposed to be a maiden, and she's supposed to be pure, and she's not supposed to be touched, because she's supposed to be waiting for her appointment of husband to do all this. And if anybody finds out any of this, like, it's not going to be a good thing. And so,
the little boy right away runs away, and you see it, and you're like, oh, he's off to tell somebody. She's about to.
We have another spy.
Mm-hmm.
Why does this Mysaria remind me so much of freaking the other M-word lady? Why do they look so much alike? Why do they give me the same vibes? I know there's no way Mysaria reminds me of the
Melisandre.
Melisandre. Thank you. Yeah. Mysaria and Melisandre.
I think that
why do they remind me?
A little different though. I think that because she was saying, she's like, the flesh trade is like, it doesn't really go anywhere. So I think that she's trying to be the new master of whisperers because she got paid. But meanwhile, while this is all going on, poor Alicent is having to get called in the middle of the night and come have a midnight romp with. Poor girl.
Ew. I
I
know.
mean, he
It's so
wars
totally
all over.
Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah, and she's
Woo!
the whole time she's like,
Hurry
God,
up. Are you finished? Are you finished? Are you finished? I mean,
yeah.
this is
He
just,
moves her face at one point, and she smiles, and then she goes back to.
yeah. I mean, that is just, like I said, Handmaid's Tale vibes totally. And she's like, I was finished before this started. Like, hurry the fuck up. And you're like all sore. You got sores everywhere, dude. Like, this is,
Mhm.
you're not in your best shape right now. At
Yeah.
all by any
But I
stretch.
don't know. Damon was also so at some point he was like before they started making out, he was like explaining sex is like for pleasure for both men and women and stuff like that. So a part of me thought that maybe he wasn't going to do something skeevy and he was just trying to be like, see, like it could be pleasurable for you. It's not just you're gonna die from having babies. But then he took a right hook and started making out with her.
Damon was trying to discredit her. Which Damon planned what part completely out? I'm sorry. We start talking about other things, then I'm like, wait, what? Counting the threads in the canopy.
Oh yeah, she was. What was
Oh,
that
definitely.
like canopy or something beforehand? She was looking up at, and he was sleeping, and there was something on the canopy that she was looking up at. Did you notice that?
No, I
It was something.
don't. I guess I really don't notice these little bitty details. Tarnish het. Um,
But yeah, then Rhaenyra comes back and takes Sir Cole's helmet and starts playing a little game.
she's like, nobody's gonna leave me with any bully balls at all. Like, this isn't happening. Like, you got me here. You got me thinking about this, and now, Sir Kristen, you've won the prize. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And so that totally happens. And I mean, he could be like, he could lose everything for doing this with her. And she's like, what is the word for that? She's not a virgin anymore after this. So now
She's
she's
not a
no
maiden.
longer pure. She's not a maiden anymore. And that's, again, what a risk he's taken. Like, wow, they must really have some kind of connection that's going to be like showing up, because he just didn't have any second thought about it. I mean, maybe a little hesitance and are you sure? Maybe are you sure? But I mean, at the same time, it wasn't like, oh, hell no, I'm not about to get in that kind of trouble
What
for
would happen if
anybody.
he told no to the princess, though?
Mm,
And they all
that's
raised
true.
the but like, what would happen if you said no to the princess?
Yeah, deflowered her.
He did. But if you're gonna,
Damon planned getting her out and seen. Yeah, because he did. He took off the hat. Didn't he take off her hat right there in front of everybody?
He
So that's what you're saying. Damon tried to discredit her. So he set everything up and then probably got her to that point. Oh my gosh. Y'all are exactly right. Y'all see, I didn't even take it like that.
Yep.
But now that makes perfect freaking sense. Mm-hmm. But so, and that also makes sense why the little boy went to Massaria and tells her, who tells Otto, who then has the audacity to go tell the king, okay, sorry, I've got to admit a couple things. Number one, I've had people following your daughter. Sorry. Number two, she's out getting it on with your brother in the most troublesome areas of Flea Bottom. So you might need to do something about and get a conservatorship on her or something, because this isn't going to work.
Yep. But the king does come back out Otto, and he says, I see what you're trying to do. You just want your blood on the Iron Throne. Like, I see it. Like, you need to go.
They are all playing chess right now. So she's like, because he tells her, like, look, you're going to have to get married. You're going to have to do this. And if finally, he's like, you're going to have to marry Laenor Valerian. That way it's going to, because, if you think about it, this fixes a lot of the king's problems. This fixes the problem that they had, whatever, he didn't marry the little girl, Laena, I think is her name, Valerian. So that fixes that. It fixes everything, and it ensures their bloodline, and it restores the two, most richest, most high up in the chain houses. It establishes that bloodline together, and it keeps it in the family because they're first cousins. So there's all of those things together. And that's
So
whatever.
she talks to Rhaenyra because she's like, I overheard that this happened. What the heck happened to you? And Rhaenyra swore on the memory of her mother that Daemon never touched her. I was not so impressed with her about that.
Because that was a flat out lie. And and so she's like, yeah, I'm still, everything's fine. Everything's fine. And then they give her something called moon tea. And I think that's like where, like, so, and they're like, you must drink this to make sure that whatever you've done will undo it.
Yep.
And so, and we don't ever know if she drinks it or not, and we don't also know if she's going to end up being pregnant, because we don't know how much time is going to lapse before the next episode. But the Grand Maester does give that to her, and was like, you better drink this. And
to get rid of
unwanted
consequences.
Unwanted consequences is how it was worded. So we shall see. I wonder what moon tea does. I wonder what that did back then.
Is that a real thing?
Was that like I was about to say, was that like the plan B of their time? Like that's
moon
it
tea.
Must have been.
It only comes on a wiki of Ice and Fire when I just Googled it. So
yeah, speaking of that, so what was about that last scene with the dagger that he was putting on fire, saying that you could only see the inscription when it was altered because it was inscribed? Like what was all every time they start talking about these things, it kind of confuses me.
Well, because he's talking about the secret that like was passed down from king to king to king about the upcoming war of the North and stuff like that, the reign of ice and fire. And he's like, this secret's bigger than me. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than everything. Like, this is what I've entrusted you with because I want you to be prepared for what's coming up. But now you need to go and make this right by marrying
Laenor, yes.
Yeah, Laenor Velaryon. And that's the son of the sea snake. But she says, that's fine. I'll do that as long as you get rid of Otto.
And I mean, like today. And so she's like, don't you see what he's doing? Like his judgment's flawed. He can't have the your best interest at heart when he's got his own best interest at heart. And it's really obvious, that this is that he is doing all of this for the greater good of himself. And the king listens to her, for the first time. I don't know if that's the first time ever that we see that not only did they make strike a deal with each other, but he actually takes her advice and her suggestion, and he acts on it pretty quickly. And he just takes the hand of the king badge, takes it right off. It is like, now go back to where you came from. You need to go. And so now we have no king of the hand, no hand of the king, not king of the hand, king of the hill, hand of the king. And so we are yet to see who's going to be named hand of the king. Who do you think it's going to be?
Oh, hand of the king. It might be the guy that recommended for Laenor Velaryon to be her spouse. Well, I don't remember his name. Who suggested that, because the king was just like over it in the third episode and he was getting all these suggestions for suitors. And this guy's like, and the king's like, do you want your son to be the suitor? And he's like, no, I think that this guy would be great. And he's like, oh, that's actually a good suggestion.
I believe she was deflowered by Sir Criston.
I think Sir Criston. I think she just made out with Daemon. And I think he
And I think that she ends up getting pregnant with him, honestly.
You do?
That's my thing. But I think that she'll end up getting appointed and married to Laenor's Velaryon quick enough to where the kids will, or her child will be played off to be his.
Yeah.
I think Daemon can. I don't know if he can't get it up. I mean, what's going on with him? Is he like having stress-induced erectile dysfunction? Because I mean, at least this time, if we're going to call it a setup, and that's maybe what happened. What happened the first episode where he was in his all of his elements, and he couldn't get it up then either, and then he had to go. I don't know. The baby will have dark hair, and that's what I'm saying is the baby is going to be of two silver heads. So how could the baby come out with dark hair? The genetics don't align.
Mm-mm.
There.
Oh, you knew that the baby will have dark hair? See, you guys have done more research than I have. I just love the show.
He has wore it out. So, oh my gosh. So we did it. We did 3 and 4 in under an hour, right at an hour. So any final thoughts? This is getting good.
I think it's getting really good. I think it's getting better episode by episode. Like the first few, it almost feels like a whole new series. Like when you kind of have to bear through the first few episodes, they're all right. But like they start getting better once the season goes on. I think that we're into those good episodes as of episode 4, really, for me.
Oh, for sure. It's picking up fast. It's getting into we're getting into out of the laying the groundwork for the story and to getting into where the shit's starting to go down. And it seems like it's going to be like this every other episode. It's going to be more, divisiveness between everybody in the realm, like I said, and it's just going to be a big ass issue. And I can't wait to see it. I can't wait.
I heard that we're saying goodbye to the younger Rhaenyra this next coming episode. We're saying goodbye.
Oh, really?
We're going to be ushering into the adult Rhaenyra. So
that was the last time we see her. We see her one more time in episode 5.
I think one more time in episode 5.
Oh, I did it. I need to see Irish Lass. Did I notice the sticker? I'll have to go look. I did get the card, I believe. Yeah.
That's so sweet.
Now you've got me wondering. Thank you. If it was a boy, it would look like her most of the time. Boys favor mom's side of the family.
Well, and I mean, that Valyrian hair is strong genetics too. So who knows?
Did I open it the other night, Irish Lass? Now you got me worried. I'll definitely go check.
What was
now I want to know what sticker you used. I would have remembered that. So no, I did not see that. You'll have to message me. Okay, cool, Marcia E.
Oh yeah, we need to.
Yes, I know. That's what I just remembered.
Yes. Thank God.
Thank goodness. You just reminded me, Marcia. But because this is so cool.
So who is this?
This is Ruth Ann's granddaughter, and she made these costumes herself.
Herself? That's
and
awesome.
It is awesome. And this is like cosplay on the next level. So give me a second. Wait.
Oh my God, Addie.
Irish Lass, I will have to go. You'll have to send me a DM because how was it sent? Was it sent through Amazon?
Oh, that's so cute.
So here is one. And
we tried to put videos and stuff up for you guys. Oh my God, that's gorgeous.
Isn't that awesome?
That is beautiful.
She did a fin-out when I saw this. Wait till you see this next one. She even made her own egg.
Oh,
dragon
the
egg.
egg was on point.
It's in the mail. Okay, I'll check it. And then I will definitely check out Hourglass. Thank you for letting me know that one too. Look how good they look.
Oh, that is so cute. Did she do both of those costumes?
They're freaking amazing.
Those are amazing. They did a great job with the hair and everything too.
I just love it. I love every bit of it. That's Ruth Ann's beautiful granddaughter. She's so proud of her. I would be like, that is,
Yeah.
it is picture. Those pictures are gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the photography, everything looks really good.
I know. So I'm glad we remembered to do that this time because I was about to forget again. And I've been so mad. I would have remembered as soon as I ended and I'd be like, oh my gosh. So, oh, she just made hers, but it's so pretty. And I love the freaking dragon egg. Love
Mm-hmm.
it. But anyway, well, that was a good live. And so we'll do this again next week and I won't miss another week. I can't. Sorry about that. But
Hopefully we'll have
I
Patrick
had
back.
fun. I know. We have to have Patrick back for sure. It's our missing link.
Yep. Girls' nights are fun.
But
Our Patrick.
girls' night. I know, right? Love you, Patrick. But thank you for coming, Rebecca. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking notes with me.
Of course, always. Yep, we tried to get some stuff up for you guys, but it's a work in progress.
Yeah, I know that we can't save videos from like we have to change it to a JPEG or a PNG or something else, and it was like an H something file. So I'll get that figured out next time.
Yeah,
I promise. All right. Thank you for coming, Rebecca. Thanks for coming, everybody. Please like the video.